Hi all, welcome to Spring Framework tutorial series. This is the third video of the Spring Framework tutorial series. In this video, I will be demonstrate you what is actually a dependency injection means, and I will be using a setter injection in this particular video. So what I will be covering, I will be covering you what is dependency means in general case. Then we will take a simple example of the employee object, and I will explain you what are the related dependencies for that object, and then I will create a simple Java project to highlight those dependencies, and then I will be showing you what is the issue that comes without using the Spring. Then I will fix those issues using the Spring and the IOC container. And here we will be using application context as an IOC container. So to get the more understanding of the IOC container, we have already one video on IOC. You can go to the playlist, and there is a one playlist called Spring Framework Code Tutorial, and you can watch the Spring IOC tutorial series. So let's go ahead with the video. So before going ahead with the video, I request to please subscribe to the channel to get videos on Spring Boot, microservices, REST API, Java. So let's get started. So what is actually a dependency means? Take a general example to understand this. For example, you are an employee. Yes, of course, you are an employee or the student. So you are an employee and you have a set of properties, like you have names and you have departments, like which departments you are in, or in case of the student, in which schools or college you are working. Then I will take the example of employee. Here another attribute is that a list of string of email ID. So as a employee, we have set up email ID like a client email ID or personal email ID or the company email ID. Those are the set of properties. So to fulfill I employee object means to fulfill that I am the employee. So I should have this type of dependencies means name, object, and emails. So how we'll get these dependencies? Like you can assign like string name equal to Subhadeep, department object equal to new department, then list of employee equal to list of email ID equal to then a list of all the email IDs. But what in this case we are doing, especially we are assigning some value, but this is not the right approach to do this. So on this case, we'll do the assign of the value will be done by some other person. So here the string is that person's. So what is this dependency actually injection is actually means that injecting the dependencies to your object or to your class by the Spring. Here we will be using Spring, and and also here we are using application context as an IOC container. So it will manage all the dependencies. It will create. So in this video we will focusing on the managing the dependencies using setter or injection. So if here we have three type of fields, so string and object type of fields and some collection type of fields called email. So if we have primitive data type or this type of attributes, then the dependency in the form of literal, it is called the dependency in the form of literal. So if we have object type of dependency, then it is called the dependency in the form of object, and if we have list type of dependency or the collection, then it is called as dependency in the form of collections. So let's go ahead with the video to create a employee class. Then I will assign some name to the employee. So mainly we will be focusing like creating a simple Java project, and I will highlight you what was the dependency issue. So if you are still watching the video, I request to please subscribe. I will open this IntelliJ. Then I will do the right click and create a new module. I will then name it as the dependency injection with setter. and Java Maven project advanced setting dependency injection setter setter as a group ID. Then I will create the project. So the project is created and we see that main class has been added. So now I will go back to this architecture diagram. Then I will create an employee class will just our name. Then I will show you that how or what was the issue that comes when we especially assign the values. So I will over there create a new class called employee. Employee is having just a name. Then to print the employee there should be a method public void print employee. This out employee details or employee name is name. Okay, then here we'll be creating the employee object and we will assign the name employee new employee and employee having one field called name. So I'll assign this name as Subhadeep. So then I will print the employee details. So I have used this explicitly assign the value, but that is not a correct approach. But I'm just showing you that what are the issues that are coming. Then I will fix that using the Spring IOC. Let me run the application. So we are getting that employee name as Subhadeep. So that is one of the things. But what happened that we are making it as default type. But as a correct approach, we need to encapsulate this thing. So we'll use private so that other class should not access this. There should be some setter method to access this field or to set the field. So I will go to this generate, then click on setter. So setter method is created and I'll go back to the main class. So now anyone can set the or add the employee name. So set name dot employee and we run the applications. So we are getting the employee name is Subhadeep. So that is one of the approach to get the details, but we should not do this new equal to employee. So this will be done by the Spring IOC container. So I will just comment out these things, then I will use the Spring IOC to do the things. So we have on videos, as I mentioned, the Spring IOC. You can watch this video to get the understanding. And if you have any suggestion, you can ask me on the comment section. So where we will get this IOC? So there is a two dependencies I have added: Spring Core and the Spring Context. In the Spring Context, we have application context. So from there, we will get the beans or the object. So and we have some beans.xml file to configure this all the properties. So let me in the last video I have created one beans file. So I will copy that beans and I will paste that on source folder. So from the last video I have copied this and but here what are this class name and the ID I will provide. So ID I will be provide as emp1 employee1 and the class this employee class. From where this employee class is coming? From this package. So I will copy this package dot employee. So I have doing this, it will doing this means actually the employee emp equal to new dot employee. This is the statement will internally work like this. So we have created the object. Now we need to assign the values. So we have name attribute now. So we want to assign the value. So for that there is a one tag called property, and within this name we need to do the exact name for the attribute. So I will click this name and I will paste here. So we have mentioned the attributes. This attribute should have some value. So here as a name as Subhadeep. Then I have closed this properties tag. So internally doing this means this part is internally means the employee dot set employee. Okay. So beans properties has been set. Now what we need to have? We have this IOC container. From this IOC container we will access the bean. So for that I will go to this main class. We have container called application context new class path XML context, and there we need to mention the configure location, that is bing.xml file. So doing this we are having container and we will access the container with id. So get beans and need to pass that id. What id we have passed? Employee 1, right? Because id we have emp1, so we have passed that employee 1. And what is the type of this beans? It is an employee. Beans means object. It is an employee.class type. Now I will store this in a variable called employee. So now we have stored this in employee variable. Then I will access the print employee, and I have accessed it. Now I will run this project. Then we will see that we will be getting the employee name as Subhadeep. So we see that it run with employee name is Subhadeep. So if you go to this bin files, so I will just explain you what this how we are setting this method. So doing this, it means it is expecting a setter method from the developer, and it will assign this value to the setter method. If you go there, this one setter method is there, na? So it will take this Subhadeep value and it will assign the value. And if we don't have setter method, then we will get the error. So what type of error we will get? The bean initialization failed error we will get. So let me show that to you. The application run and we see that there is one error is coming. What was that error? If we see that bean creation failed, error creating the bean with name emp1 defining the class source, because in this source we have emp1 and it is saying that name is not writable or invalid setter method. So it is expecting setter method internally, but it don't have setter method. That's why it is giving a error called bean creation failed. So that's all with the video, and next video we'll be discussing about dependency injection with constructor injecting. So here we are using the properties, like we are explicitly like using the beans, we are setting the values for a particular properties. Now in the next video we'll be setting the value using in the form of constructor. So here we'll be create a constructor and we'll be assign the value in this beans file. So if you have any questions or any doubts, you can ask on the comment section. Thank you for watching the video.